Well, we're still paying tribute to the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin, who died yesterday at the age of 76. We reflect on the life and times of the legend with music academic, songwriter and head of creative arts at the Southdowns College. That's Sheldon Rocha Leal. Have I said that right? Rocha.
It's Rocha.
Rocha. It is Rocha. So we try to get too creative and look what happens. Sheldon, thanks very much. Now, you've written extensively about Aretha Franklin and what she actually means, not meant, because she will live on in her music as well. The preacher's daughter turned the Queen of Soul. I mean, her story for you is what?
Yeah, and I mean, the thing is that she had a very strong lineage to music royalty. Her father was the Reverend C.L. Franklin. He was known as the man with the $1 million voice, so he was able to generate millions of dollars with his voice. Her mother died when she was 10 years old, so 1952, and as a result thereof, a lot of the people that used to sing at her dad's church helped bring up people like Mahalia Jackson and Clara Ward and Albertina Walker. There was a whole lot of people that helped bring her to prominence. Sissy Houston, Whitney Houston's mother, was a backing vocalist for Aretha Franklin. So she had this very strong royal lineage as far as soul music is concerned. And she changed the way that music was done. Her big gift was taking songs that already existed and converting them into major hits. Songs like Respect, which was originally done by Otis Redding, was a respectable hit, but the way she interpreted the music...
Just gave it that life. She gave it that oomph it needed.
Exactly.
Is what she did.
And she opened up doors for other female artists like Whitney Houston, for example, which she did a duet with in the 1980s, where, like, if you listen to I Will Always Love You, by the Dolly Parton version that Whitney Houston redid, you can hear those Aretha inspiration in the Whitney Houston voice. So she completely changed the game as to how people would interpret music and look at music.
And changed the game. I mean, being the first woman to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame back in 1987.
She was inducted into a whole lot of halls of fame. She was honored by 4 different presidents. Jimmy Carter, she sang at his inauguration. She sang at Obama's inauguration. She was honored by George W. Bush and Bill Clinton. So she was known as a national treasure in the United States.
I mean, she even released an album, A Brand New Me, just last year.
Yes.
And I mean, she'd obviously been ill for a while also. She must have been ill at the time.
Well, that specific album was just reworked versions of her songs with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra.
Nice.
But 2 years before that, she had released, in 2014, 3 years before that, she'd released a brand new album where she honored current divas like Alicia Keys and Adele. So she reworked all of these songs by these famous divas and presented this album.
And I'm just looking at the list, Sheldon, of people she's worked with. I mean, it takes me back to like primary school. I mean, that's how old I am also. I mean, just, you know, George Michael, working with the Eurythmics, with Whitney Houston, like you say, and then also Michael McDonald. I mean, these are names and these are people.
So Elton John.
She was so versatile.
James Brown.
Yes.
Tony Bennett, Frank Sinatra.
You name them.
The names just went
so
on and
versatile
on and on.
that it wasn't just soul and it wasn't just gospel.
Yeah.
That she could add to them.
The beauty of Aretha was that she crossed the color line. So she was one of the first artists, along with people like Stevie Wonder and Marvin Gaye, who were able to traverse the line between black and white and communicate across the board. So it will be very interesting to see who they whip out for her memorial service. So you'll probably see Stevie Wonder there, or Smokey Robinson.
Everyone will want to be there. I don't even think you'd have to force anybody to be at that service. And I'm seeing stories about a movie. And who's going to play
there's
Aretha?
a biopic.
Yes.
They were talking about Jennifer Hudson.
Yes, yes.
And one of the reasons for that is because her big mentor, in specifically the later part of her career, was a guy called Clive Davis, who's iconic. He's the guy who discovered Whitney Houston, and he became he's the mentor for Jennifer Hudson. So in an interview with Aretha, she didn't seem to think that Jennifer Hudson would be able to cut it. But she also didn't say who the person would be.
Well, maybe she's left a little letter somewhere. And I mean, just tell us a little bit. And I don't know how much of her personal life you know about Sheldon, but we don't know too much. And I was just saying earlier that she was not controversial. She did all of this with class, no controversy. So what do we know about her family and her family life and her personal life?
Well, she was married twice. Both men were not very well known. Her second husband was an actor. But she was single for the last 30 years of her life. It was very much, she was very much all about the music. She has 4 children. Okay. So there will be a legacy of Franklin's, and her first 2 children were named after her, carry the Franklin surname. So the legacy will continue.
Any of them in music that we might know?
I think her oldest son is in the entertainment business, and I think he played backing guitar or something on one of her tracks. But she wasn't about the private life. She was about the music. Yeah. So you'd see her at like the inaugurations. She performed at Dr. Martin Luther King's memorial service. So she was
I mean, she brought Barack Obama to tears.
Yeah,
you know.
she did.
On
various occasions.
Who else has done that? Yeah, who can say they've done that? What for you, Sheldon? I mean, what song epitomizes Aretha Franklin for you?
There are so many, and I'm such a big fan of Aretha Franklin.
I see that.
Her body of work is so immense. Yeah. One of my favorite songs is a cover that she did of a Stevie Wonder song called Until You Come Back to Me. And she does the interpretation of that Stevie Wonder song is exceptional. Okay, we'll have to go have a listen back to that one and channel some Aretha there. Well, thank you very much for the time and that insight, wonderful insight into the life and times and the music of Aretha Franklin. Well, the music legend also touched the lives of many fans. Here's what some of them had to say.